What's up and welcome back to the Kind of Funny Gamescast for April 22nd, 2025. My middle school friend Amanda's birthday.
Happy birthday, Amanda. Wow.
Of course, I am Tim
Mandy.
Geddes. I am joined today by Andy Cortez.
Hello.
Greg Miller.
Hello.
And making his return to Kind of Funny. You see him all the time on Easy Allies. You see him all the time on MinMax. It is my brother in hype, Michael Huber.
Yo, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Huber, how are you doing?
Super good. I saw Sinners last night.
Ooh.
Highly recommend.
Did you get to see it in 70 millimeter or just normal?
Yes.
You did. Oh, I'm so jealous. It's sold out, man. I got to get
I know,
there.
it was packed. It was packed.
That's great. You liked it, though?
Loved it. Loved it.
Yes, man.
Highly recommend.
I've been seeing that our friends Belinda and Yusuf have seen it 3 times in 3 different formats.
Good for them.
Wow.
And it's like,
They're
man,
trying to
that-
see it in all of the formats.
Keep
which is
cinema
insane.
alive, baby.
That's awesome.
Get that, Greg?
I'll wait for it to be streaming. Thanks.
You piece of shit.
If I
Remember,
watch on a
everyone,
plane, that'd be best.
this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free and a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of this show, though, YouTube Super Chat your questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want in, and we'll get to them throughout the show. Today's big topic is going to be our game of the year so far. So please Super Chat in your game of the year so far so we can talk about those as well. Little housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. You've already gotten a banger episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily. And after this is going to be our screencast, spoiler cast of The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. It's going to be me, Greg, and Nick talking all about what we saw a couple nights ago. And obviously, you're not going to want to miss this one. Then after this, that is the stream of Greg playing Oblivion for the first time.
It's time. It's
Wow.
here. Let's go.
Solo stream, just you.
I didn't want anybody else in there. Mike was like, we could do this. I'm like, no. This is my playthrough, right? So I want to be, I'll look at the chat and I'll talk to the chat here and there, but I want to just play the game.
Jump in and go.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Not
going to be a lot of
not
fun.
have the yapping all over the place, you know.
And Roger didn't. I sent it. Roger text. It said fry ?
And you just hear Kevin.
If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Greg Way is 16 minutes all about Greg's WrestleMania FOMO, but not for the reasons you think. This is the type of clickbait shit that I'm like, I need to know, so I'm going to listen to this shit. You know? You can too with the Kind of Funny member.
Clickbait, all right?
great.
I never
Oh,
clickbate.
that's why. Okay, I don't want to listen anymore.
It has nothing to
but
do
I'm
with
sure
Stars in
you
the
do.
Bank. Just right now, I am being once again persecuted at Kind of Funny.
Oh.
Where on Friday, Bless is like, hey, guess what? You have to cash in before the season finale. And I say, all right, fine. That's a new rule. I didn't know that was coming. And then he goes away for a
Wasn't
week
aware of
to
this.
hang out with Kojima. So now I got 1 week now to cash in.
Yeah.
Before the season ends, not before the season finale. Again, as the
So I got to do it
representation.
on the finale now. We want to make the cash in as lame as possible, Barrett.
Well, just think about this,
me.
Greg. Let's say like through all of the bullshit stars at the end of the season, you're down for the count, but
Hey, now, those aren't bullshit. That's how I'll get a star. Hey, now.
the Super Mario Party bullshit stars at the end of the seasons, let's say you're down, but you're just a couple of stars away.
I
Think
came
about
up with a
it. Think
rock
about
solid idea on
Think about
Games
it.
Daily today. And it just involves us buying plane tickets to Japan for me, you, and
Okay.
Roger. And
Sure.
we go over there and we do it in front of Kojima.
Okay.
And I embarrass you in front of one of your favorite Japanese developers.
you know,
That's
yeah.
what's going to happen.
Oh, okay. Great idea,
Call him a
Greg.
shot.
Friday, the Elder Scrolls Online podcast, the Kind of Funny Gamescast Limited Series, is back with episode 2. Matt Ferrora and Rich Lambert from the ESO team are back with Greg and Mike to talk about the 10-year journey. The episode starts with the game's rough launch and review scores before finding the ESO audience and building the playground they wanted. Come for the deepest dive of Greg Miller's career Friday on all your Gamescast feeds and on Bethesda's YouTube channel. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Anatoly Ast, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Imperial and Aura Frames, but we'll tell you all about that later because we got to get to it. The topic of the show. Game of the year 2025 so far. People might say, wow, it's a little early in the year to be doing one of these.
A quarter's already down.
We're a quarter through the year.
I hate it.
We're even more than a quarter.
It's going to be May in a week.
God, man, that's wild.
It's going to be May.
It's
I don't
happening.
like it. I don't like where we're at already.
I don't either. But I'm happy because it means we're inching closer and closer to the Nintendo Switch 2.
Of course.
We're Mario Kart World. Imminent, everybody. But here's the thing.
Did you say I nailed the prediction, by the way?
No?
Worlds.
I said world,
Didn't
but
nail
still.
it. Didn't nail it.
Yeah, but
That
your reasoning
counts.
for it,
I
though.
give you credit.
Thank
Andy.
you.
No,
Thank
I don't
you.
give you credit
Thank you,
though,
Huber.
because your reasoning wasn't because it's all about Earth World. What you were saying it was like a multiverse thing. It was
I
going to
don't
be all the
recall
different
that
worlds.
because I don't even remember saying it until I saw the video.
I don't even know what video it's
Classic.
on.
I don't
I
have a
love
good
this
memory.
stuff. But here's the thing: we're talking about our game of the year so far. We're going to go around the table and say what our pick is so far in 2025. But I'm going to cheat just a little bit, because I obviously haven't completely played this game yet because it is not out. But I'm going to talk about a game of the year contender
Oh,
that I did get to play a preview of, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Oh.
So a couple weeks ago, I got hands-on with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound from the Game Kitchen, developers of the Blasphemous series that Andy is always going on about, published by .emu, who I've lately been obsessed with, Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, the upcoming Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I got to get hands-on with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and guys, it's good. Huber?
Yeah, dude, I got to play this too. It's sick.
Yeah, dude. Like this is our shit entirely. It is a 2D action platformer. It is decidedly not a Metroidvania. This is way more side-scroll platform action. Go through, rip the shit out of demons. It is freaking awesome.
This art style is just undefeatable.
Cinematic pixel art is one of my favorite things ever, and this game kind of takes it to a level that I don't think I've seen before. Like, this doesn't just feel like, oh, it's another retro game. It's like, no, this feels like a modern game that just has that retro style, and that's true of Shredder's Revenge as well. There's something different about this one, though, where as you're going through the level, like in the background, boss characters will be kind of popping out. Like, there was one part in my preview where you're on a zip line and this like demon jumps at you to attack, and then a giant like snake dragon thing comes and like kills him. And it's just the coolest thing. And then a couple screens later, you're fighting that giant snake thing. And it just felt very, very, very cinematic. And in a way that when we saw the debut trailer for this, it was like that hand-drawn animation, or maybe not hand-drawn, but like the more cartoony animation. So far in the game, there's none of that. It is all pixel art and very beautiful, beautifully crafted, directed cinematics, but then they bleed perfectly into the gameplay. The gameplay feels exactly the way you want it to. Recently, I guess not recently because we're getting incredibly old, The Messenger came out, and The Messenger was a...
Yeah, that was my first year kind of funny too.
Yeah.
Recently.
Okay, it was a
Doesn't
long...
it seem like it was like it feels like it was 2018
Wow.
feels like it was just here.
Man, that's crazy. But I love The
17, I guess,
Messenger.
if it was your first
I
year.
think it was 17, yeah.
Love The Messenger a lot, and it felt like obviously it was very inspired by the original Ninja Gaidens, but that was more of the like kind of indie focused retro game that we've seen a lot of, but I think on one of the highest ends actually. This feels like that, but like taken to the next level again, and I'm so happy about it. Multiple characters you're playing as, and like, I mean, just look at some of the vistas in the back, right? Like, this is a Ninja Gaiden through and through in a way that I didn't expect how it would merge the old school NES games with the modern, again, very old man here, the 3D Xbox Ninja Gaiden games. And what a year for Ninja Gaiden fans. We had Black 2 coming out.
Oh, it's back.
We have 4 coming out later. We have this coming out. Like, it's a great time. But yeah, my gameplay experience with this so far, it was impeccable. Like, I really, like, it is one of my best gaming experiences so far, and I do think it's gonna be very high on my game of the year list when it does end up coming out. I think in August, they said. I don't remember if it actually got a date, but either way, very, very excited about it. One thing that I want to throw out, because it really, really blew my mind, is Barrett, can you bring up the intro to the original Ninja Gaiden? The NES Ninja Gaiden was one of the first Nintendo games with like cinematics, quote unquote.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So it was like definitely a big deal. That's like what people like, one of the things that they remember besides the brutal difficulty and all of that stuff. But super freaking sick. Like, this is such an iconic video game thing here. And we see the death of Ryu Hayabusa's dad, right? The prologue of Ragebound is you playing up to this moment as the
that's
dad.
lit.
And it's like
that's
just
really
so cool. And like the music
So
cues
sick.
and everything are like they are straight from the original game. And I'm just like, yeah, man, this is what it's all about.
Dude,
So
I'm
anyway,
telling you, Tim, if you ever played Blasphemous 2 or even the first one, there are boss encounters when you look at the boss art, You're just like, God, it probably took 8 months to fucking just draw this 2-frame animation because of how detailed the pixel art is.
And that's the thing, you say 2 frames. It's like some of the animations are way more than
no,
that.
I mean
right?
2 frames of the whole animation.
Yeah, exactly. It's so detailed and cinematic's the word I keep going back to. But like, man, my highest praises to this. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
That's exciting.
Again, the soundtrack is fucking sick, man. Love it. Can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome. But that's the future. That's me hoping things pan out based on my preview of Ninja Gaiden. Ragebound. I want to talk about games that we have played, that we have beat, that are on our Game of the Year list, that might end up being our Game of the Year. I want to ask right now, is anybody confident? Has anybody played something that they're like, this is my Game of the Year? I can stand by that.
And we think it's going to be there at the end of the year?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Some contenders, but I'm not ready to like definitively lock
Yeah.
it down.
There's some deep fried contenders for sure.
ooh, crispy.
But you use contenders in different ways, right? Because you have the contenders, meaning like it's going to be a top 10.
My contender, Huber, is like it'll be in a top 10 list. It'll
Yes.
hit the top 10 list for sure.
Because I feel like
I think he understood.
all of us have those. But do any of us right now think we have like, oh, I think this has a chance to be number 1 at the end of the year?
I sure do.
Hit me off, Greg.
I mean, it's not surprising no one, Monster Hunter Wilds, a game I gave a 9.5 on this show about, and that they're just, I think, making better and making harder and making it so you're actually carding and doing the things that people at launch didn't like. Tonight, obviously, we dropped the Blossom Festival, and there's a whole bunch of content around that, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I am so happy that when we do a review, oftentimes you talk about what you hope the rest of your year, your time playing this game will be like. And for me, it's always, I had such a great time with this. We're doing a stream on Friday or whatever, and I'm hoping I'm able to get back to it when reviews end. And I said on there, of course, like, oh, like, I think I can't imagine playing another game more than I should play Monster Hunter Wilds this year. I was very clear that I was like, I feel like it's going to be my Diablo, or it's just be the comfort game I go back to, I put hours into, they add up, and then suddenly you go, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I said all that on the review and then went into 4 or 5 other reviews back to back to back to back. All the other things we had to go play, all the things we had to do, trips, filming movies, all sorts of crazy crap, right? And so to come back from Chicago, for Ben's spring break and look at the calendar and be like, you know what? Until this apparent Oblivion shadow drop, and until I was talking about, doing another Outer Worlds playthrough, I'm like, I actually have a gap right here where I can play Monster Hunter and I can just sit there and enjoy it like I want to. And that's all I've been doing. And it's that thing where night after night, moment after moment, there on the portal, there on the big screen TV, there at my desk, I'm playing it and I'm playing it and I'm playing it. And I am still insatiable. I'm excited to play Oblivion today. I love open world RPGs, as everyone knows, and I've never played Oblivion, so I'm super stoked to jump in there. But there is a part of me that goes, I hope it doesn't speak to me. Because, of course, it's my luck that it drops today, and so does the Blossom Festival, and we got to watch Prometheus. And it's like, motherfucker, that's a big Tuesday when I just want to go home and try the new Monster Hunter content. But even to take away new content dropping today and just talk about from review to now, I think the game has only gotten better and only shown, oh man, it really is going to be that game that will be here as long as I want it to be. I'm insatiable about it, right? But it's because I am grinding all the different armor sets and I want to get different weapons on blah, blah, blah. And I like seeing my hunter rank go up. I could easily, if I had to, and I do, stop today and not come back to it until a bigger thing or another break. And I would feel like I'm in a good place with it. It feels like a good game. My birthday stream on Friday is supposed to be Monster Hunter Wilds with Joey, right? And Mike out there playing more. And Joey was like, hey, I can step out of it. I don't have to. I don't want to hold you back. And I'm like, I'm at a place right now with what I'm doing that it's no problem for me to just run endgame content with you. Andy Cortez.
What would it take for you to fall off?
I think it'll be
not just other shit coming out, but if they came out with a new content drop, what would it take for you to look at that content drop and go, man, not worth it? I thought I was coming back and I'm out.
It is the classic games as a service, even though arguably they're not doing battle passy things, but there's login bonuses and stuff, and there's events every week. So it is, we'll say, for this argument.
They had, the Pope died. They had that event.
I mean, I killed him.
Oh, shit.
In the game. They put a giant Pope in to memorialize him.
Wow, I didn't
the
know
real
that.
monster. You know what I mean? Because of the child abuse.
I mean,
He was a different era.
Well, I mean, you got to take it on the figurehead.
He's the woke po. We like that.
He was the woke po. Anyways, what it would take for me to fall off, I think, is suddenly to be on that level of like, there's nothing left to grind for or nothing I want to grind for. Grind is usually so bad in the game. When you say, oh, you grind for this, you got to grind for a bunch of hours to take on the final boss. Monster Hunter grinding is, I'm looking for this one gem to drop off Gore Magala. You know what I mean? Like, I got to get out. I got to do this thing to get, like, so it's like I'm doing a monster I like a lot, or I can go, grind the event quest to get more armor spheres so I can upgrade, all this dumb stuff. But it's like, I feel like when I'm doing all of that, I'm getting something that I know I'm going to use or need eventually. Whereas if it was that I'm just doing it and I'm like, okay, cool, I've got everything I want, or I'm not interested in going for that carrot, I wouldn't. But they're doing a great job so far of event quests every week of being like, all right, cool, it's this bird you put on your head. Do you want to go fight these things so you can have a little bird to rest in your head? And I'm like, no, but I want it in my inventory. I want it in my the new one's like this hood that looks like this like thing sleeping on your head. Will I ever wear that? Of course not, but I want to grind for it. And then I'm doing the fashion thing. I'm changing all my colors. Like I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? I've played so much of it and done so much and I mean in like recent days that I'm like, I can finally feel like I'm not wasting my time to go in and customize the messages my character auto says when people join the game or you jump on somebody's back. I'm like, I want to go do that. And I want to do that. I'm like, I feel so good.
I also need to recreate your character and re-edit.
You do, yeah.
Character.
I want you to re-edit my character. You can do that today.
Greg's character doesn't look like himself. Looks like it looks just like a different nationality entirely. So I was like, let me get in there.
It does.
Got it. Yeah, let's fix that. Hubert, are you a Monster Hunter guy? And have you played Worlds at all?
Oh yeah. I rolled credits on that, and then like so many other games came out, so I just got distracted with it. Totally going back because like Iceborne and World and stuff, we did weekly hunts. And I've been wanting to do that with, the Easy Allies patrons and everything. Just been so busy with like other games. There's just too many games always coming out.
Of course.
But like you were talking, Greg, just being able to like hop into Monster Hunter for as long as you want, it's like, oh, I got an hour to kill. I'll go on like 1 or 2 hunts, try to find some materials. Or it's like, no, I'm just going to settle in and just, hunt after hunt after hunt. So I love how accessible it is for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to the marathon stream this weekend. Bringing Joey and Mike back for the first time in a while and showing them some of the new stuff, and then seeing what's the Blossom Dance Festival of Accord is all about out here as we go.
Of course.
But
Hubert, it is not your game of the year so far, Monster Hunter. What is?
Oh, it's so hard. I kind of cheat here. I've got my personal GOTY, and then also like what I think is probably GOTY right now. Yeah, am I allowed to do that, or do you just want me to like Highlander this?
Have the conversation and then Highlander it, okay? Like you're gonna have to choose, but I want to hear your love for both games.
Yeah. Citizen Sleeper 2. I am huge fan of this game. Loved the first one, and the second one I feel like is just kind of better in every way. Because the first one you're just at this little hub area. And then in this one, you can go kind of all over this galaxy, and it's just got a really, really cool amount of characters that you can meet, and like you can bring each character onto the missions, and that changes the story. So the story can really change on the smaller, like intimate level. I don't know how like big the main choices can change, but a lot of those little character interactions change depending on how you play, which I really love. And just managing these dice, like I love rolling these dice. Like you'll go out to, you'll go out to like, you guys are watching like Prometheus and stuff. It definitely has that like,
oh yeah, for sure,
alien crew going out into the middle of nowhere to like scavenge some derelict ship.
And not everybody's friends with each other on the crew. I love the dynamics.
Yeah. Uneasy alliances. And it's like you'll go out and you'll have a couple dice and you're just like, dude, I gotta roll this. Like I'm going for the greed, I'm going for the scrap. And like things can go bad really easily in this game. You throw a couple bad rolls and like things escalate in really fun and impactful ways. And it's just got a melancholic vibe that really speaks to me, just the quiet, somber loneliness of space. The music is super good. Just a really good game to play like at night and vibe out to, for sure. I love it so much.
And some of the most immaculate writing.
Writing.
And the thing that I love about its design is that, because that's also my choice, I would probably go with Citizen Sleeper
Daily
2
Double.
so far.
Daily Double.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
And I kind of did the Hubert thing too, where I have several things written down as well. But I think what I love about it so much is that the game is designed, and the way it's designed is that you're gonna fail. You're not supposed to have the best of any of the outcomes, because eventually you are a person's consciousness uploaded into a robot, and you have essentially signed away your consciousness rights to this government, and you are kind of just working off a debt. So your body's out somewhere, God knows where, in a sleeping tube somewhere, but you are in this robot body, just meant to just work and work and work for the man. And
fucking man,
your body's breaking down, and your body will continue to break down, and you will run into situations where you can't recover or have the perfect outcomes anymore. And it's meant to be that way. You're not supposed to play this to always feel great, because it's designed to where you are going to either overcome challenges or be hit so hard by them, and then they will give you the light at the end of the tunnel, little monologue to tell you why things are still going to be okay. Dude, it's just so
making the
great.
best out of a bad situation. Yes. Always, yeah.
It's all about
so
just
good.
getting to the just get to the next day. Just like try to survive. I haven't played enough of this. But I did play what I would consider probably like the prologue, and then like other stuff came out, and it's just been busy since then. But like hearing you two talk about it again, I'm like, damn, yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I loved the kind of I don't know what the first one was like, but the sense of momentum in terms of story stakes and what that was building up to, I thought was really cool, and I really liked that so early on, just like how different playthroughs can be. Like Junie right here, very early on, we did some stuff together, and they were like, all right, I'm peacing out. And it's fascinating to hear, does that happen for everybody? And how different all of these story things come together for people, but still have the level of writing that it just hits so hard on the kind of looking at just people trying to survive in such what is seemingly like a super capitalistic future in space, and everything being terrible all the time. It's really rad. So thank you to the both of you for lighting a fire under my ass to get back to this.
No, I'm glad you guys brought up the writing, because we think of storytelling like Final Fantasy or Last of Us or something like super high budget and crazy big, which is incredible. But then you have something like Citizen Sleeper that's just the writing is so good. You just get so immersed, and you can see it all and feel it all in your head. It's just, the writing is next level.
Yeah. When talking about it during our review, Huber, I kept on saying, whenever we look at, I'm such a sucker for art and art direction. And when you have those games where it's every frame of painting type shit, where everything's a screenshot, everything looks so perfectly placed. This was every line's a bar. Every line of dialogue being delivered is you couldn't write something cooler on your best day, And that's every line in this game.
Is there voice acting in this, or is it
no voice acting?
So you're just reading it all and kind of hearing it in your head.
And again, I don't read. For anybody out there who's I don't read, sorry, neither do I. And I got sucked the hell into this world, into this universe. I haven't read a book since probably, I don't know, Night of the Living Dummy, Goosebumps, or some Animorphs
what a
book.
good one that was, though.
Maybe it was Where the Red Fern Grows. I don't remember. But goddamn, this for anybody out there who's discouraged by these type of things, I played it exactly the way Huber mentioned it, where it was my nighttime Steam Deck game, and I played it at night, and it was just me, my Steam Deck, and my feelings, and and you get so just engrossed into this world, and it's a kind of a perfect sci-fi experience.
So Andy, you agreed with Huber that Citizen Sleeper is in the contention for even today's answer for you. What else is?
Well, another one that I see. There's a lot of, Tim, you know how in disaster movies where people will just they know that an oncoming disaster is happening, and you could do whatever you want in the day, and you can go shopping, you can hang out with friends, but you know that there is a meteor about to hit the
Inevitable,
earth.
yeah.
And it's always in the back of your mind. That's Hades 2 for me. I think Hades 2 gets the full 1.0 release this year.
Yeah.
And it cannot be denied that that will likely be my number one.
I'm right there with you.
I just have so many hours into that video game, and we could talk all day and night about Hades 2, but the other one that I put on the list is
Are you gonna be surprised if it doesn't come out this year though?
I will be very surprised.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah, because they mentioned that the next update is their final update.
Do you have hesitancy there?
Not based on anything. It's just with indie games, and especially a indie developer that has proven themselves and have an audience as big as Supergiants is, I just don't think you rush it. So it's just one of those, like, I'm always ready for everybody to delay their games and stuff, but you guys watch and pay more attention, like I'm saying, closer to this one's early access journey. So I was just wondering.
Well, the other choice that I had written down that is not this oncoming meteor that's about to hit anytime soon is another one on Huber's list, which is Blueprints.
Yes, dude.
Huber, please wax poetic about Blueprints.
Wow. Okay, so I am pretty terrible at puzzles.
Same here. And I don't like reading.
Here's your game.
We get it. You hate reading.
Andy's waiting for Hades for his real Andy stuff.
Yeah.
Blueprints feels so special and unique. I definitely encourage everyone to hop into this one. It's getting a lot of hype right now. Some people may roll their eyes like, oh, it's just a little puzzle game, whatever. I definitely encourage everyone to hop in, because the way at which you start to learn things in this game, I think, is a really, really magical experience that definitely lends itself to a GOTY type game. When you first when I first booted up this game, I walked in, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just building rooms, vibing out, whatever. But as you progress and move forward, you start learning little things, big things. Your curiosity drives you. And then with each day that advances, you take that knowledge that you've learned, and your next day is potentially a lot more interesting and better, because you're like, wait a minute, this means this, or this adds up to this. So yeah, just the way you start learning things, I think, is like next level. I haven't learned in a game like this in so long, where it's not explicitly telling me things.
Interesting.
But I'm discovering these things and realizing these things organically as I play.
Yeah, you're trying to get handed over the keys to a manor, and you have to. It's a magical, mystical manor that all the rooms are changing, and it's a roguelike.
Who doesn't love a mystical manor?
Of course. And you are trying to get to the 46th room of a 45-room mansion. This mysterious 46th room that hasn't been seen in who knows how long, or nobody even knows if it actually exists. But it's just the way it teaches the player, like Huber was mentioning, I think is just so freaking next level. In addition to even all of the writing in the small stuff that may not mean a damn thing, although I think that everything in this game means something. I listened to the recent Besties podcast where Chris Plant mentioned interviewing the developer and they're on a Zoom call asking him what was behind him on his, like, oh, you like movies? What movie is that? Like, I'm trying to see behind you on your Zoom call or whatever. And he mentioned 3 different movies, and Chris Plant was like, oh, that's a weird kind of combination of movies. And he said, well, they all came out in the year, I think it was like 1940 or 1950 something, and that was my address when I grew up. And they're like, "Oh, you are like the guy."
Oh, you're
in the
living
manor.
the game.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's so crazy, and I definitely got some details there wrong, but it was like, wow, you are this. No wonder you made this type of video game. Yeah, it's one of those weird experiences where everything feels like it is so purposeful. And just the curiosity that it develops with you to want to start that next run, even though you thought this run is going so great. Holy shit, I'm kind of goated right now. I have so many items and things. And then you run into a brick wall and you go, God damn it, that that's a little bit frustrating. But what's one more run right now? And it just has that roguelite thing, which I think can turn some people off and can maybe discourage people where they go, man, for having a puzzle game that is so reliant on knowledge and putting things together to add an RNG aspect to it may be a bit too much for me. I think it's just an awesome culmination of all these different aspects of game design.
Yeah, dude, Andy, I've never had so much fun not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Like, honestly, it's okay to just go in and just fumble around. I just went in and I was like, I'm just going to start building rooms that look cool and try to get to the top. And then as you just do that very basic function, you start learning.
Right.
And just that one more day type roguelite element speaks to me so much. It's just another game like... Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like the start of a Hades run when you go,
exactly. Yes.
I'm starting off with this boon, and I guess this is going to be a fire run. We're going to go,
we're going to change the entire
we're focusing on all of this, and the trappings are all there, where when you start off with the first 3 rooms you could choose from, and you go, oh, shit, cool, this is a great starting 3. I'm going to go with this one because I now have this strategy that I've been kind of employing and developing for the last couple of runs. And I know Barrett beat it, and Barrett loves it as well. Barrett, you've already reviewed it, but give us some more thoughts on Blueprints.
It is a good game.
Real good
Sorry,
game.
I wasn't expecting to be put on the spot like that. Tim, you asked the question earlier of like, is it anybody like confident in like this being the one? I said on our review once I had given it a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, it's going to take a lot for any game this year to dethrone Blueprints as my game of the year. Awesome. And like, that's with a new Mario Kart. That's with a new 3D Donkey Kong game coming out. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out.
How stacked this year is.
Yes, and I think Blueprints does everything so well, and whether it clicks with you or not, that's I feel like a different conversation. But for me, in terms of, starting up this game for the first time, not really knowing what the vibe was, but kind of just vibing out to it. And just getting lost. And then, Huber, like you were saying, slowly, without the game throwing tutorials in your face, subtly teaching you the mechanics and language of the game in really smart, fascinating ways. And I think something that shouldn't be understated is that, like, yes, getting to this room 46 in a 45-room house is your ultimate goal, but you are going to naturally find a lot of other mysteries and puzzles that even if there's a run where you get so close and you're like, gosh darn it, but hey, I did unlock these 3 different rooms that have something going on. So maybe if getting to the end is a wash, let me go play around with some of the other stuff. And there's so many different threads to pull on.
And the excitement of permanent upgrades too.
Yeah, and like there are permanent upgrades and all this stuff, but different threads to pull on that might actually loop back to the main thread in really cool, engaging ways. I think the way it tells, it's not the most complex story or anything, but I think the way it tells story with like this family surrounding this house and all this stuff is really, really cool and natural in ways that I haven't felt in a video game in a while.
It's so interesting, man.
It's so interesting. And like, I have not gotten back to it. I need to get back to it. I only like roughly 20 hours in, and I know there's so much more to explore after rolling credits and all that stuff, but it is a phenomenal game. So it's a good game.
I got so many goddamn screenshots on my laptop. Like
I
have so many notes,
screenshots, and I got my little Greg Miller notebook out. Like it's such a cool time to zen out after a stream where I was just like banging my head against the wall, fighting a boss or whatever. It's really cool to just kind of, all right, this is my just chill out time. The music. It's just a very kind of weird, unsettling. It reminds you a lot of when Greg Miller played Gone Home and said, "At every moment, you think this game's going to be a horror game, and it's not." And
every time I get to the den, I vibe out.
Every time I get into the photo lab, the
dark room,
the dark room, fucking terrifying. I run to the door to open it up because the power turns off. It scares me every time.
Have you talked to the thing?
Yes. Fucking yeah.
I talked to the thing once, and a couple of times I was like, this is kind of weird. and like I'm getting kind of like weird vibes. But then there was one time where it was like, look out, watch out while you're walking around this house, and it's like, what the fuck? And then it kind of that run turned into kind of a horror game for a second, where I'm like, do I need to look out for myself now?
Yeah.
Like, oh, the way it can shift vibes too, in like subtle music cues, because certain rooms will have like, you know, if you open up the church or whatever, you know, you're gonna get a bit more of like kind of church religious music, whatever the fuck, and then that can kind of shape like how you're feeling about a run. Or you know, you get like what is it, like one of the green rooms, and then it's a bit more like vibey and chill, and you're like, oh yeah, like I'm having fun. And then yeah, you get to like one of the red rooms, and you're just like, oh god, everything is awful and sucks. And yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, I got code, and I think I was the first to start it here, and it was one of those, I put out the request and I was waiting, and I did like an hour and a half of it, and immediately sent Blessing the message of like, dude, this is your shit, you haven't requested a code yet, you want one, right? But it was the idea of like, it's a notebook game, and I can't wait to get back to it, because I enjoyed what I did, but I didn't have I forget if I was on a plane or if I was doing something, but I was doing it on Steam Deck, and so I didn't have like all my faculties ready to go. And it's that right now, working the Monster Hunter junk out of my system, where like it's like I finally have time to play something that I'm not reviewing. I'm pouring all that, but I'm hoping to burn that out and then get back to it on a day where it is like Ben's doing whatever, I can have a cup of coffee and I can sit here with a notebook and go, because I loved what I played.
He's in the bathtub with a toaster.
Yeah.
Get him out of there.
Yes, I believe Kevin might have to correct me, because I know him and Kevin have been going back and forth. I believe Bless either just finished it or is very close to finishing it. So, or getting to the main end goal.
Kevin is obsessed in a way I haven't seen him with the game in so long.
Since Breath of the Wild, I swear, and that was before my time, but I remember the stories of him whenever he's running a show, always playing Breath of the Wild, or like staying up until 2 in the fucking morning playing Breath of the Wild. And that is Kevin with this game. And
you know Kevin is obsessed with something when he gets to levels of comfortable you've never seen him before, and that's saying something. I love it, because he'll just be sprawled out on the couch, just like
got his PlayStation Portal. He's
ready, dude.
I
love it, man.
Programming note right now. I mean, everything's subject to change, but I don't think this one will. Monday, April 28th, we are planning a Blueprints spoiler cast. So
very cool.
Set your records for that. You gonna be on it?
If I beat it, yeah, it could be done.
You want to come back? You want to be back on it?
I'd be on it for sure.
All right, cool. I'm putting you back on.
We're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors, but when we get back, we are going to talk about my game of the year so far, and also all of yours. You've been super chatting in. I want to get to all these. Please, if you have more super chats, get them in with your game of the year so far, and we'll talk about that. But we will be right back. This episode is brought to you by Imperial. We've told you all how important it is to developers to wishlist games you're interested in on Steam. So if this game sounds cool to you, make sure that you wishlist it. In Imperial, you play as a mercenary sent to a distant planet to discover the mysteries of an ancient civilization. Powers unknown lie within the monolith, but those are no mere ruins, as an expedition has already ventured inside with only a few survivors. Why was it built? What powers reside within? Who is at the center of the monolith? All these secrets and more will be uncovered if you are brave enough to take on Imperial. Imperial features a unique blend of RPG systems and skill-based combat across 3 weapon archetypes: the acrobatic glaive, the defensive but devastating mace and shield, and the powerfully ranged cannon. With a deep ability system and extensive customization, every battle is an opportunity to refine and optimize your combat style. Form relationships with each of the few surviving expedition members, who all have their own personal quest lines. Whether you choose to help or not can have drastic consequences for them. The monolith is guarded by powerful automatons, each with distinct attack patterns and weaknesses that demand precise execution and strategy to be victorious. Create your mercenary, enter the monolith, learn powerful abilities, defeat the automatons, and uncover the secrets that lie within Imperial. Imperial is available May 8th on PC, Xbox S and X, and PS5, but you can wishlist now. Do it! Wishlist Imperial. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. If you haven't called your mom in a while, here is your reminder to do it. But then if you want to go above and beyond, Mother's Day is coming up, and I have the perfect gift idea. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, You can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. Trust me, Gia's dad does, Greg and Kevin, and a ton of people here at Kinda Funny are obsessed with their Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app, and I know that from experience. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code Kinda Funny. Support this show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. And we are back. So far, 2025 has not been the biggest Tim Geddes game year. You know, I feel like there's many things coming down the pipe that I'm like, oh,
A lot
I'm about
of things
to
coming down.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much, Greg.
3 stars. Some would say are coming down
God.
from your little tree to
He's
my
gonna
mouth.
take it from you so quick, dude.
Man, I have a lot of things coming out the rest of the year that I am very much looking forward to. New things like Mario Kart World and, of course, Donkey Kong Bonanza, all the Nintendo stuff. That's, you know, what I'm here for. Hades 2 exactly like is going to be the meteor we're all waiting for. In addition to that, some of my favorite games of all time are being remade. We're getting the remaster of Onimusha 2. Excited for that. But even more so, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. You know,
Sure.
Metal
And
Gear
that's the thing is,
Solid
like,
Delta. as
Metal Gear
well?
Solid
Oh my
Delta.
God.
Like that's the thing is like I have a real remake heavy year, and like I'm cool with that. Like that to me speaks very loudly. But of course, I always am trying to lean towards game of the year, like the actual game of the year. That should be something new, unless the remake or remaster, whatever. Not even remaster, a remake goes so above and beyond in a Final Fantasy VII type way, where it's essentially a different game. So we'll see where we end up with all of that. But so far, I would say my game of the year contenders are Split Fiction and South of Midnight. And going into this, I'd say
Nice.
Split Fiction is one where I loved my time with Greg playing the game thoroughly. And I love Hazelight. I love what they do. I don't think it quite hit the level of this is my game of the year, and I really stand by that, and it's my number one, or even like, I don't even know how high. It's going to make my top 10, I imagine. But I actually don't even know it will. Actually, like, maybe that's where I'm at. Like, it's not a lock for my top 10 this year, and that is a little disappointing. I really loved my time with the game, but I expected to love my time with the game. So I'm going to go with South of Midnight. South of Midnight to me right now is my favorite new game that I've played this year. And I really, really loved my time with the game. And more so, I love my time after the game reflecting on playing the game. I am a music lover. You guys know that. I love music from movies, from video games and all this. And I think a lot of it comes down to what music does to me and what music allows me to do, which is reflect on moments and memories that I have that are positive, negative, emotional in any way, right? And I know that I loved an experience, whether it's watching something, playing something, when I hear a music cue and it triggers the memories of experiencing it for the first time. And it's rare that newer games give me that. Every once in a while it'll happen, and I feel like with the big, highly produced stuff, the God of Wars and Last of Us and all of that, it's like I'll hear a music cue and immediately I'm taken to that moment. Even the Jedi games recently have done that as well. This game is absolutely full of it, and I've been listening to the soundtrack for the last couple of weeks, and I just keep getting brought back to the different moments. Oh my God. Anytime music starts playing, I get triggered because I think Greg's doing some shit. You know what I mean? And that's stuff that
I just wanted to shout out how fucking good Two-Toe Tom
shout out
is.
to
Like,
Two-Toe
I was
Tom.
that track was stuck in my head for days.
Yeah.
So good.
And I keep listening to these songs and I keep thinking about the boss fights or just like the parkour moments or whatever it is. And I went back and just played through some of these moments again, just because I'm like, I want to be back there and do it again. And I'm just so satisfied with the world that they created here and how much fun I had experiencing the story for the first time, and then since that many times over going back to it. I know it wasn't everyone's favorite thing ever, and I do understand a lot of the criticisms of some of the gameplay. It's the type of game I like a lot, though, and I feel like it really is going to be a game that years from now I am rocking for. And I think that as time goes on, I'm only going to enjoy this game and my memories of it more and more the further I get from the things I didn't like. You know, because I said this during my review, and I stand by it now. Like, I'm not going to remember not loving the running around as the little guy over and over, or not thinking the combat was deep enough or whatever.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know.
I like the crouton sections a lot.
But I am going to remember all the things that I love about it, and the world and the story and the characters, and I really hope we get a sequel. So far that is my game of the year, and I'm also really happy seeing how much people seem to be enjoying the game, and now that it's out, you know, like now it's past that initial critical reaction of reviews and like talking about it with our people and everything. It's like, oh, people are vibing with this game, and I'm like, cool. I'm not crazy. Like there's other people out there that are vibing with it as much as I did. Really, really thrilled about it. But I do think there are many games to come this year that are going to dethrone it.
But South of the Midnight deserves that time in the sun right now. It deserves that spotlight. That is a game, again, that, you know, I thought it had a really excellent review on with lots of different perspectives on it. And it is something that I hold in my heart as what a great ride that was. I enjoyed that game so much, and I love that game despite any of its faults. Like, I thought that game was awesome and something really special. And I'm glad, like you're saying, so many people are connecting with it. So many people are playing. Again, you know, we talked today about Oblivion and Expedition 33 and like it, but does that Oblivion bringing people to Game Pass make them go, oh, wow, and Expedition, oh, wow, and South of Midnight, oh, wow, Avowed, and keep them around longer to get those, dips in there.
That is a very optimistic perspective on that.
Well, I said it was a question.
I appreciate it, but I'm so concerned about Expedition.
Careful, Tim, careful.
Oh, God.
Be careful. He's got another note.
I didn't want to do it.
Another handwritten note from somebody.
From Chicago. Quote, buy this... Thank you, Brad. Quote, buy this, my sword, I swear. Tim shall win this challenge and possess the stars forevermore.
Great.
Clive Rossfield. Sorry, Greg.
There we go.
Clive Rossfield.
Oh, man. Andy, I forgot. I mean,
to get those 3 stars.
There's been so much going on the last couple months and games coming out, movies, like everyone in and out. Did you play South of Midnight at all? Did you give it a shot?
I booted it up, but I was playing Kazan at the time. So I didn't really hop in a whole lot. It was one of those I booted up just to see how it looks. And then I played kind of a couple of first combat encounters, and I was like, not what I want right now. And also, I'm just like really bashing my head against the wall with Kazan.
Yeah. Huber, what about you? Do you play South of Midnight?
I booted it up, but I was playing Kazan.
There it is.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're the king of swimming in sevens, man. This is the game for you.
I'm actually really far. I'm like 3/4 of the way through, and I love South of Midnight. And I love that you are repping it and just like the games we've brought, because I'm thinking about just like the pillars of GOTY and games and what we love from a game. And it's like, Blueprints, we got those puzzles and exploration. South of Midnight, we got just this story and this emotional world. And then like Monster Hunter Wilds is like, get that dopamine grind, get that combat, hunting those monsters. So just like all of these elements of games from the ones we've picked here, just loving it.
Games are cool.
I think booting it up also, Tim, I had that almost immediate, like, this element doesn't make me stoked of walking around the house and going, my old laptop computer mouse. Used to use this all the time when I was in school. My old laptop. Used to love this when
using it with my mouse.
I just like games need to stop doing that, man. Like
we had to set the stage,
or figure out a better way to implement those little sections in the same way where Cameron Kennedy always hates the slow walk in between the crevice, which I totally understand as well, like how overdone that is now, and it's mainly done for a lot of performance purposes. But those little like optional things, I just like. It's become such a staple in third-person action games, and there's got to be a better way to do it. I don't know.
I totally be a better way. I will say, like, the writing does get better after that, because that was a weird first impression for sure.
Yeah.
Let's get to the super chat. See what y'all think about Game of the Year so far. Dolphin Coin says, I'm a big Huber head. Glad to see him on Kind of Funny. Of course, you got to be the biggest fan of Huber. One of the most positive forces in video games. One of my favorite people in video games. Let me just say that.
Yo, Tim, real quick, is Super Mario Party Jamboree the best Mario Party of all time? I'm ready to say it right now.
My problem with Mario Party, we've talked about this. They start to blend for me, and I don't even remember so much which is the best one, which is the worst one, like even what my feelings are. I honestly think that the easy answer is yes, because it is just the most refined and has a lot of the classic maps that we like and just the classic games that we like and all that. So it's easy to say that. But I also feel like the best Mario Party of all time is which one did you play with your friends the most? You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about.
You're so right. You're so right.
Also, this has nothing to do with a super chat, but this is just a total aside right here, Tim. Very happy for the rematch beta by Slowclap, which had 118,000 concurrent players on Steam only.
FIFU.
And I hope this game is a huge hit because all I can think about is C2 or whatever the next thing that they will fund
That's
with
good.
that. Like the game rocks. I had such a fun time streaming it with Mike and Blessing, and the fact that this can possibly be their little golden goose that just kind of prints money for them for future things that we really, really want to see from them. Even though this is awesome, I'm just so unbelievably stoked for Slowclap that a lot of people are really jazzed up about this video game.
That is an excellent point, and those numbers are incredibly impressive, and I'm so stoked about that because I remember, a couple years back before Hades 2 was announced, there was a lot of conversation of like, what's Supergiant going to do next? Are they going to continue to just put out new IP, or are they going to do a sequel to the biggest hit ever that was either so close to, or for many people, Game of the Year status and such a win? And they went with Hades 2, which I think we, especially now, can agree was the right answer. What is that for Slowclap? Is it Sifu 2 or is it something new? I hope it's Sifu 2.
Sifu, dude. One of my favorite games ever.
God,
dude, me too, man.
Incredible.
Now give them Daredevil.
Hey, the gameplay style of the Sifu.
With that art style, with all the Sifu is just so unbelievable, man.
Sifu's the best, dude. Sifu's the best.
Bobby Joe says, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has got to be my game of the year so far. Excited for Expedition 33. Yeah, obviously, a lot of love for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Not much from the people here, but...
It was a bad time. I was playing Avowed when it was out, or when it was kind of coming out during that review period. And also, I think maybe some emails got missed where like Greg was like, I requested a code for, because I was
we only got one code I think for preview.
I was like a late request, and Greg was like, they haven't gotten back to it. I think like things just got caught lost in the shuffle, and then Avowed came out, and I wish I could pause time and put a lot of time into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because I really enjoyed the tone and the vibe and the characters and the writing and all of these really kind of annoying mechanics that I don't necessarily find annoying because I love how they're going for that extra level of realism. I wish I had more time to hop back into that game.
Same thing where it was like, I'm always like talking about how much I love open world RPGs and choice and all this stuff. And people are always like, oh my God, Kingdom Come. And it was that thing of when we started and I played that first hour, the granularity it was going for, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to get this into the weeds. And it was the same thing, similar to Blueprints, of I didn't have time to do it at that moment. It was something I was looking for a quicker hit. And then, Avowed came in, and again, that is that more top level. Mm-hmm. I have it on my Steam Deck. I'm ready to go, but...
It runs great on Steam Deck, too.
Hubert, you play Kingdom Come at all, or any of the Easy Allies?
Same exact thing, where I played like 5 hours, but then had to hop on to something else. But definitely one of those ones I really want to go back to, because it... I remember a lot of people comparing it to Red Dead 2, just the sense of exploration and kind of just wandering around outside and just, feeling the sun on your character and just, just finding all these little, secrets and discoveries. So definitely want to get to that before the end of the year.
CJ Splits On says, slow year for me so far, but gun to head, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
Tom Telexo says, getting the 3 diggies from my wife later. Oh, 3 digis from my wife later. Thanks, Greg.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Oh, Jesus.
That's your game of the year, everybody.
Man, Chocolate Fox 9 says, my game of the year is Dynasty Warriors. The nostalgia hit hard. Hell yeah. Love to see that.
That's the best Dynasty Warriors I've played.
Yeah.
I've always tried to get into Dynasty Warriors. Origins is the one, dude. That one is sick.
So happy for Mike. Gen ZFC says, Blueprints is good, and at some point I felt it had enough for Game of the Year, but lately I feel the game is unfair and in my opinion doesn't have enough juice to become epic. Yelsing says, I don't think it's possible for a game to usurp Monster Hunter Wilds for Game of the Year. Even after getting the platinum, I still can't get enough.
I really want to dive deep into Expedition 33 after playing that preview and somebody who's not into
Turn-based.
But
You're the most anti-turn-based person I know.
I mean, you just gotta wait for so long, Huber. You know what I mean?
You control the buttons you press, Andy.
You just gotta wait there while things are
much
happening.
strategy.
Yeah, exactly. But the sound design and the way those parries felt and performed and everything that game is doing visually just seems so sick. And I really enjoyed the characters and the moves and everything. Is like, oh shit, I'm gonna lose a lot of time to this video game.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. Alec Bobko says, for new releases, probably Blueprints or Split Fiction. Overall, though, I think I have to go with Hades 2. Finally beat Chronos a couple months ago, and it felt so good. Oh, man. Hades 2. Mad Rock says, unless I get caught up in the RPG vortex with Expedition 33, Hades 2 is going to be my game of the year for the second year in a row. Supergiant continues to fucking kill it. BJ Bernardo says, first of all, shout out to my GOTY Blueprints, but also thank you for convincing me to try Citizen Sleeper 2 and South of Midnight. Hell yeah, man. That's what the show's all about. You know what I mean? Celebrating the video games, all of that. So enjoy, BJ.
I also love how incredibly well developed Hades 2 is. And I've the last 20 hours of me playing, because I'm like 90 hours in, the last 20 hours of me playing, I'm just like, look, I appreciate you all have put this much unique writing into your game. But I'm just trying to get to another run. like there's so much dialogue in this game. It is a feat that they are able to pack this much new things every time something happens, every time a new run is completed. But for the last 15, 20 hours, I'm just like speed past it. Like I really appreciate this amount of love you're putting into this, but holy shit, I'm just trying to get back into another run.
And then the final super chat for the day. Costa says, we often look at nominees during strong years and say in any other year they'd win. How many of the top 5-ish from last year could have won if released this year?
It's so early.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I think the answer is yeah. Like,
there's going to be a whole new crop of games that could have won this year by the time when we get to the end of the year.
Yeah, I do think that, I mean, at least personally for me so far this year, like we had a lot of bangers, but I feel like a lot of the bangers last year like are in the conversation as well.
Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, totally. I mean, for me, I'd put those easily above South of Midnight.
Shadow of the Earth.
Would we be having that same? Will we be having those same conversations though if GTA 6 comes out this year and post Mario Kart Worlds and all that stuff? Right.
Yeah.
I'm still a doubter on GTA 6 coming out this year, but like I know Huber is very much it's coming this year, but you know,
coming.
If I'm playing in 30 frames per second on my console. Get that shit out of my face, dude. Fucking vomit all over it. I don't give a damn.
God damn.
I know I said it was the last one, but one just snuck in here. Riley said, hey, y'all, love the show. Greg, you're going to read
that one. You don't have to read that one.
You're going to waste stars in the bank. So besides Blueprints and Avowed, what other game of the year should I play on Game Pass for PC?
Well, Oblivion today, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great call. Yeah. I would say give South of Midnight a chance. See if it's for you. It's on Game Pass. And I mean, you know, Andy was bringing it up earlier, but Expedition 33, like with the demo, was awesome, and that's on Game Pass, which is awesome for them. So later this week,
go back to get a time machine, go back to last month and play and beat Lies of P while it's on Game Pass as of last month, but it's already off of Game Pass.
We also have Doom coming out in a couple weeks.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I've been replaying Lies of P though. What a fucking game! Like goddamn, what a great game.
Oh, it's so good, Andy.
Getting stoked for this DLC, which we still don't have a fucking date for. Summer 2025 is still what they're saying. It's like, what?
Keely will drop that date on us. He'll be like, yo, here it is.
But
shadow drop.
Is it going to be a shadow drop? Yeah, that's where
Maybe not a shadow drop, but he'll be like, yo, it's coming out. The trailer will hit, and there'll be a date there for sure.
It's so bizarre that we still don't have one. But goddamn, like, man, just making your own weapons. I'm forcing myself to not go strength build and go with something more dexterity or whatever. And holy shit, it's just so cool. Taking the handle from that one weapon because it does a certain animation, but then mixing it with this other blade that has a sick ass kind of R2 special. Dude, it is such a fucking great video game, man.
Well, everybody,
wrench.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us for today's episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Let us know in the comments below what your game of the year so far is and which ones you're looking out for that you think might take the crown at the end of the day. Michael Huber, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. You are always welcome here at Kind of Funny. But besides here, where could people find you?
Yeah, just at Michael P. Huber on Twitter, or X or whatever. And then, yeah, just easy allies and occasional min-max. So
there you go.
Just floating around.
Once again, thanks for joining us. Until next time, we're about to do our Last of Us Episode 2 spoiler cast, so hang out for that. If you're on Twitch, stay where you are. If you're on YouTube, you got to make the jump. And then after that, Greg's going to be playing Oblivion for the very first time. Exciting stuff here at Kinda Funny. Until next time, love you all. Goodbye.